Coming to you live from the ESG Lab every Tuesday night, it's ESG Live with Chuck, Paul, and Ramir. Tonight, the Ghost Deep Dive with Apollo's Chris, Mac, and LOI. Community content, news, and more. And now, your host, Chuck Temple.
What's up, everybody? It's good to be here. It's good to be back for another week on ESG Live. What episode is this? Number 72 already? I don't know what we're going to do when we get to 100. And when is that going to be? Sometime later this year, I guess. Anyway, thank you for tuning in on your phone, on your TV. Hi to my parents. I think some of them are watching tonight from Colorado, maybe live. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, we've got a great show for you tonight. Tonight is all about the Apollo Ghost, and we are going to be joined not only for the deep dive with Paul and Ramir, and we're going to talk about why this may be the best value in dual motor scooters, period. And we have some data to show you that's pretty interesting. But also we're going to be joined by Chris, Mac, and LOI, the founders and the chief, I think, engineer over there. They're going to be on the show here really shortly to basically answer your questions, chat about the Ghost, all that good stuff. So one of the things to note is if you have questions, you can ask questions to us, you can ask questions to them, hit @Electric Scooter Guide with your questions, and then it'll kind of tip us off that, we'll put them into like a shared doc, and then we can try to get to those questions. We're trying not to answer questions about the Phantom. Tonight, it's really just try to keep your questions to the Ghost, okay? Because they're going to come back to handle that. So tonight is all about the Ghost. So let's see here. If you're on social media, make sure to check out. Obviously, if you're on, if you're on YouTube right now, we're streaming live. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, bell notification if you don't want to miss, these awesome intros to the shows. If you're on Facebook, thanks for streaming on Facebook. We're live on Facebook as well right now, and the Facebook group is where all the conversation happens during the week. That's run by Mr. David Vosk. You know him, you love him. So he's on there, and he runs all kinds of stuff, including Photo Friday, which was coming up, Mod Saturday, and Scooter Ride Sunday. But also on Mondays, he does the big giveaway. That's a weekly giveaway, and actually this week, Apollo, of course, is sponsoring that giveaway. They're giving away a headlight, a storage case. It's a 1,000 lumen headlight, I believe, a storage case, and an anti-theft alarm. And so we're going to be choosing the winner at the end of the show. And anyway, go on the Facebook group if you want to check that out. And then finally, if you're on Instagram, we're posting stuff almost every day now, behind the scenes, riding footage. Oh, we got splashed, just like little things, but it's fun. So check that out. All right, let's kick off the show with ESG's Photo Friday. Okay, and I see the people, we're actually almost at 100 concurrent viewers already. So man, it's awesome to see that, hopefully we're doing some good stuff and that you like our content. And of course, as always, if you have suggestions, throw it into the comments of the show. I won't necessarily see all the live chat comments because, otherwise I wouldn't be here, looking at a camera in front of me. I'd be looking at my computer. But yeah, we're always open to suggestions for that. Anyway, let's get it going with Photo Friday. So honorable mention this week goes out to none other than Wrong Way's Adam Maliki. He posted this picture of the VSET 10 Plus in Warsaw, Poland. So it's a very cool looking scooter. And on his win, Adam said, quote, David Vosk, yeah. Or actually it's yay. I added the ya. But anyway, he goes on to say it was worth taking 40 pics in the garage. Yeah, it's a lot of work to get these awesome photos. It's amazing how good of photos we get in there. Okay, runner up this week goes out to JP, posting this colorful photo this is in Dubai in the UAE. You know it's always the UAE in the Philippines that are like chomping for #1 spot, and well, as you can see, the winner this week is going out to, first of all, JP, I think we have a little quote from them for their win. Did we play that? No, we don't have that. I'll just say it. Quote, David Voss, thanks, sir. Thanks to ESG, and shout out to my wife, Jamaica Pasqua, and my daughter, Pasqua, Jade Ashley. Thanks to all scooter groups here in Abu Dhabi, UAE, especially the EKSAD group. Thanks, and good luck, everyone. So anyway, congratulations, JP, on the runner-up this week. And the winner this week goes out to Akko Randy, posting this regal photo of the Blade 10 in Abu Dhabi. Rather than me saying the whole quote and everything, because I messed that one up, we just basically will have we'll show you the screenshot of that one. So congratulations to, the riding groups in Abu Dhabi. They're really kind of taking control. I want to see the Philippines, come roaring back next week, because I love those photos as well. All right. So let's go to a quick commercial break sponsored by Voro Motors. We'll be right back.
Hoping that they catch me riding dirty, try to catch me riding dirty, try to catch me riding dirty, try to catch me riding dirty, 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 and dirty, dirty, dirty.
Ramir, you made it, man.
Yeah, I'm here. I rushed down here.
Ran in the door.
Yeah, behind the scenes, they don't know, but it's all right.
You could tell them. We're working hard over here.
You're working hard, trying to get these videos out.
Yep.
And,
the one tomorrow morning for the Ghost. It's
Ghost.
I mean, there's some cool shots in there. Some real cool shots. Pretty proud of how that one's coming.
Yeah. So how was your weekend?
Oh, mine was good. Let's see. Well, we got the break from the football this week, but I actually took off. I'm trying to take one day off a month to go to do something, right? So I'm not just a workaholic. And Vienna wanted to go skiing. So we went skiing. We got in one run Friday and then Saturday, Sunday. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice. You said you were going to send me like some pictures or some videos.
Oh, you know what? I actually did. I did get a quick video that I made. I put on my personal Facebook, but we actually have it here. Let me see if we can pull that up.
Oh, we did?
Here we go. It's real quick though. This is actually all from my GoPro, and I edited it in the GoPro app on the phone. These dang iPhones are ridiculous. I just don't understand how
nice.
It was like, just amazed with the GoPro app.
Oh, look at that. I like that, Chuck. I don't see why you don't do my job. We should
man,
do videos.
That took me hours, dude. I was sitting there by a little fireplace in the cabin, doing that thing. Anyway, so it was cool. It was the first day, time we went this season, so I didn't go like crazy fast. I didn't go as fast. Basically, I went almost as fast as the Ghost.
How fast did you go?
I actually have the app Ski Tracks, and I think I didn't go my record. I think I was 38 point something, 39 miles per hour. So
that's pretty cool.
Decent.
Anyway.
I think
next time I would like to see a scooter out there in the snow.
I know. We've been talking about taking some scooters out to the snow and just blasting around.
We got 2 wolves now, so we could take
That's true. That's true.
chase the wolves around. Get one stuck, use the other one to pull it out.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's how we should do it. Anyway, how about you? What was your weekend?
I didn't do much. I think, what I'm trying to think. My wife, she had to work 2 days. She had to work this weekend, so.
Oh, okay.
It was just I didn't
family
do much.
stuff.
Yeah, family stuff. I just was at home with the kids and some work.
Who you got for the Super Bowl, Ramir? That's next week.
That's next week. So
it's on Sunday. Wait, it's this Sunday.
Yeah.
So
and it's hard because I'm a Raider fan, so I'm not gonna naturally I'm gonna not root for the Chiefs. But I understand they have a great team. But Tom Brady's on the other side, and
Are you for or against Tom Brady?
I'm for.
You are for him.
I'm a for Tom Brady.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, let's get into the community content.
Yeah, let's do this.
So first up on Sundays we have Scooter Ride Sundays. That's where people show their rides, their family rides, their group rides. Doing tricks. We love the rides, so please send them on Sundays and hit up David Voss. So first up, we have another fun one from Adam Maliki from Wrong Way. It's of him and his M-Motion V10F through a snowplow in Warsaw, Poland. Let's check it out.
He's always got cool videos.
He's always something.
He's always doing something.
Yeah, he's gonna win the Scooties of craziest scooter rider or PV rider every year.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's good. Next up, we've got Gutierrez, Terrence, Lucas, Yomel sharing this Abu Dhabi night ride.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a little sound, just to liven it up a little bit.
Okay, I see him.
I love these night rides because they all have cool lights. Look at that purple one, purple pink.
Yeah, all types
and
of
a lot of riders too. A lot of riders.
Yeah, every single video, every week, it's at least 7 people.
Oh, this one looks like 20 people. They're wearing their helmets too. Safety first over there.
Yeah,
that's good.
Let's go ride scooters.
Yep.
It's only 4 of us going. Well, we're gonna wait till it's 15, and then we're gonna go.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, next up we have Andrew Nuntaprita on Facebook and Got Scooter on TikTok, and he shared this fun compilation of PEV riding. He says, "My love for the one wheel is what led to my passion for scooters, especially high-powered scooters." Look at them. Oh, they doing tricks, ramps.
Yeah, what do you call this thing?
It looks like a full grind. I mean, not a 50-50 grind, but they're like scooter grinding on like.
Yeah. That one looks like the 8X there. That scooter could be, or the Blade looked similar.
That's what?
Pretty cool.
I want to see Paul on UEC. Paul, how
I've
would
never
you ride
tried
that?
one. I would absolutely try one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a video the first time though.
We'll get it. For sure.
Him and his
Get those pads out.
Yeah.
Get those pads
sure.
out.
I was just looking up the temperature in Abu Dhabi at night lately is like 60. It gets down as low as 66 degrees. It's got to be so nice.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, Mod Saturday.
Yeah,
Mod Saturday.
In addition to Scooter Ride Sundays, we have Mod Saturdays. That's where you share your upgrades, your accessories, your mods. My favorite part of the show, because I can't do anything, so I love to see people do their thing. So first up, we have MD Jahang posted his wide wheel and ride Sunday, but thought it was funny and very fitting for Mod Saturday. Let's check this out. So he has the stripe lighting on his deck.
There it goes.
And his stem.
Looks like Tron. The people that have the wide wheels, they're fanatics about them.
Yep, they are.
I mean,
what can you say?
It's a very interesting scooter. It's I think it's like love-hate with that scooter a lot of times.
Yeah.
And the people that love them though, shoot, look at that. Look at that. Okay, next up, Archel Antonio showed a photo of his upgrade to a beefier kickstand on his Dualtron. So,
nice photo.
It's a small, those side stands, kickstands are like small but pretty important things. A lot of them don't work that well. They jiggle out.
Sure.
I mean, we've had a bunch of scooters with kickstand issues, and it's cool that they got that.
Alert. Okay, next we got Glenn Cabotage. Cabotage. He showed this organized installation of his steering damper on his Curus NF. Look at that. Look at all that organization right there.
Yeah, I think we have the same toolbox as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
The little
Shout out to
red
Paul.
with the little things or whatever.
We put ours with film gear though. But
Yeah, it's all GoPros and
I
whatnot.
love the
but it's
tools.
cool.
I love the tools laid out for surgery there.
Yeah, I thought that was like integrated. And when I first saw the photo,
Yeah.
I thought it was like inlaid in the deck, and he made like a
I
special
almost want to pour
thing.
epoxy over it, make a deck out of it.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, no, that's cool. Okay, next up, we got Whoa showing off his stem with lights stacked, and a real nice leather satchel. This is
a nice
This is-
satchel.
forgot my harp. Oh, it's good. Oh, that's not good.
That's not it.
Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Man, the sound effect board is
Who is that
tripping me
guy
out right
running
now.
sound right now?
Here, wait, hold on, I got it.
There we
There
go.
we go. Nice.
All right.
Nice. All right, last but not least, we have a video from Brian Pargan showing off his rear LED brake light and left and right turn signal. Let's check it out.
Yeah, this is nice. You're not gonna miss these things, so watch this.
Nice. See, that's what we're talking about. We're
We got
talking
the
about turn
big
signals.
lights. Now what? Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's got them at the end,
And he has them up high, too.
up high, and at the end, and then look at this.
Oh.
And it's loud. I mean, this is when this becomes your car, or the main form of transportation.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the way. Let me turn down the little beeping. It's a little loud there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. If you want to get involved in that, either the
Scooter Ride Sunday,
the Scooter Ride
giveaway.
Sunday. I mean, honestly, like people say, PEVs. It's like who's saying they're gonna like? It's not a fad anymore.
How
right?
long is this gonna? How long
I
is
mean,
this here
yeah,
to stay?
yeah.
When did you
I
think?
mean,
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
that's what I think. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Scooter check.
It's,
My bad. Sorry. I wasn't expecting that.
all right. So anyway, send us your stuff. And actually, if you're not, I know a lot of people don't do Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, hit up. We actually have a link in the description that is the our Dropbox. And on our Dropbox, you can just upload your stuff directly, and it maintains better quality, and it's better
Yeah.
than us ripping it off YouTube and getting in
listen,
trouble.
That'd be the best way to get on the show.
Yeah, just do that.
Do that.
Just do that. All right. Cool. So let's talk about what's coming up. So upcoming ESG features. So we've got first of all, we've got the web article for the top 10 fastest electric scooters already up right now.
Nice.
Which is pretty awesome. So we've got
Fast.
Yeah, so we've got. I mean, yeah, you can kind of check it out. Just type in fastest. It's actually on the homepage now. Basically, we got all of our data. We took a bunch of other people's data, and we kind of made a leaderboard for the fastest electric scooters. The link to that is actually in the video description, like halfway down or whatever. You can find it there. But that's where we're keeping track of the fastest electric scooters. And if you want to if anybody's watching, Ryan, if you want to be in there, just send us a scooter so we can test it. Second best is send us some kind of GPS data, and then we can verify it. But until we get that, we can't really say it's the fastest. I mean, we can put in there what we think it will be, right? Mm-hmm. But we can't just say, hey, this is faster unless someone has actually tested it.
Yeah, and this is an article that we're just gonna, something we'll just keep updating as time goes on. It's a leaderboard, so it's just gonna keep changing and evolving. And I'm looking forward to seeing how our King Wolf does on that leaderboard.
Absolutely.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Recently, Stephen Moore on the Facebook channel actually shared his photos of the Turbo Wheel Phaeton, which is actually the number 4 fastest scooter on this list currently. So thanks for Stephen getting these photos actually in San Diego. Look at that one with the aircraft carrier.
Their old stomping grounds, huh?
That's right. I miss San Diego. Anyway, we love seeing that. And then also, he sent us another person, John Richardson, sent us a video of the Dualtron X2, which is the number 2 fastest scooter on this list. So we have a quick clip of the video we can share showing how fast he went.
How many scooters does he have?
I don't know.
A whole bunch.
I don't know.
And this one's got a seat on it, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. And I think it's gotta help with the top speed because you gotta get down low, otherwise.
Yeah, for sure. You get that tuck. You get that
Yeah.
tuck
Oh,
in
that's
there.
why you're always decking, Paul.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
know.
yeah, it helps a lot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Kind of get out of the wind.
Yep.
And it pretty much agrees with the data that we've got. It's getting a little louder. The
Sure,
data
I
that we've
gotcha.
got on the on the X2 is that it has a top speed of 60 miles an hour, and he got it up to about showing about 58
it'll,
right there.
it'll
so.
go. It'll go to 58 here in a
Yeah.
minute. But just for a second. But if you're a little bit lighter, or it doesn't have all of this, he's got the rear view mirrors, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably be a little more
That's true.
aerodynamic, and
Yeah.
the lighter weight might actually make it go that extra couple miles per hour. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully
yeah.
we'll get our hands on one of these. We'll get to test it ourselves.
Yeah.
Before too
That
long.
would be great. We also have the Wolf King that just arrived, so that'll be the next scooter that we review. It's a 72 volt, and it's got some other differences that Paul was already discovering. So look for that in 2 weeks from basically today. And then also, Paul has been working on the next generation of the best scooters for 2021, and basically crunching a ton of data to figure out that list. And actually, some of the graphs that we are actually going to be using in the deep dive tonight are actually showing a lot more than just the Ghost. And you can see some of the big outliers on these graphs that Paul made. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. It's pretty cool. Basically, I come in, I see what Paul's working on. And he's like, look at this, the standard deviation of the line. I'm like. And it actually makes sense, and it's legit. So anyway, pretty. I mean, yeah, it's a pleasure to be able to like work on things that you really believe in, and that it's like, okay, well that makes sense. Anyway, we also got the Mantis 8 Pro. It's the dual motor version of the Mantis 8. So highly anticipated. We love the Mantis 8 here at ESG. So we're really looking forward to testing that one out. The Apollo Ghost, of course, that review is launching tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I feel like we're going to be here a bit tonight to get that done. But look for that at 9 a.m., probably premiering tomorrow. So that'll be pretty awesome. And then, of course, the deep dive tonight.
We got to start the show.
Oh, well, hold on a second.
Stop the show.
Micah Suarez. Thank you, Mike, for the super
Shout out,
chat.
Mike.
Yeah, thank you
you.
very much. You're the man.
Yeah, he didn't say any. Okay, no comment.
Don't even
Cool.
need a comment.
Cool.
Just hooking it up. All right.
Thank you, Mike.
For tonight, if you are wanting to ask a question about the Ghost or any scooter, just hit @Electric Scooter Guide. I'll see we have this live show questions doc. It'll get filled up, and I'll get some of those questions out to Chris, Mac, and LOI, and then everything else will go to ESG staff over here. Okay. Oh, and then the other thing that's coming up is we got these. We finally got the shred lights, the SL.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The
Right.
SL 1000. I basically asked Eric over there. He was on the show a month or two ago, and I asked him to, if he's got some extras, send us some of these SL 1000s, and then basically he sent us like a whole box, like hundreds of dollars worth of these things. So shout out to to him for getting that. So we're gonna probably get a little review on another live show and see how we like them. But so far so good. We just got them installed and they're rock solid so far. So, all right, awesome. Deal of the week. So next up is the deal of the week. Let's do this. The deal of the week this week, of course, is the Apollo Ghost. It is normally, and it's gonna be $15.99. However, it is currently during this pre-order phase on sale for $14.99. We can ask, Apollo how much longer that's gonna last. But also, they're still running. If you're in U.S., it's still no sales tax to the U.S. And I believe there's also a free accessory with purchase with that. So that's pretty awesome. We're gonna be, it's a good deal. How good of a deal is that scooter? That's actually what we're gonna talk about in the deep dive. Is where does this scooter fall? How does the performance match up to the price? Other dual motor scooters, all that good stuff. We crunch the numbers, so that's what we want to share with you. So let's get it going. And before that, a quick commercial break sponsored by U Scooters. Let's do it. There we go. There we go. All right. So we're gonna get Chris, Mac, and LOI on the line here momentarily. But let me just introduce you to the Ghost. So right now, of course, the Ghost is, in my mind, it is kind of the people's dual motor scooter, and I think that is because of the performance to the price, and the way I think about it, it's like one of the best entry level dual motor scooters out there. It is, normally $1,600, of course, $1,500 now. It's got dual 800-watt motors, although, as you're going to see later, the performance of the scooter is kind of outpacing, I think, if you're going to compare it against other scooters with dual 800s, it's going to outperform them. It is a 52-volt, 18.2 amp hour battery. We range tested it at 22.3 miles of tested range, and that was actually at an average speed of 19.7 miles per hour, which was almost 2 miles per hour faster than we typically test the range on. So it was actually a faster range test, which means that the actual range, if you're gonna really, go back to back and really, be really super fair, it would actually be a little bit higher than that. So, but you can ride it fast. It weighs, I think we tested it at just under 66 pounds. So that's the scooter. You've probably seen stuff already if you're here watching this. But I want to introduce, so we got everybody on, Richie? Yep. Okay, so I want to introduce Mac, Chris, and LOI from Apollo Scooters. Welcome, guys.
Hi. Hey, Chuck and team.
Hey, yeah, you're actually joined by Paul and Ramir. We're all hanging out, chatting it up. Yeah, good. How are you guys doing? Are you guys staying warm over there?
As much as we can. I think we got about a foot, maybe a foot and a half of snow today. So no scooting for us anytime soon. But we're keeping busy, so it's all good.
Yeah. What's the temperature over there?
Well, I only know it in Celsius, but I think it's about minus 10.
Okay. That's like minus
it's
20
cold.
In Fahrenheit, I think. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think I've gone to minus 7 before in Colorado one time, but never that cold. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Do you guys ride scooters when it's that cold? Can you, what happens when scooters get cold like that? Can you still go?
I think Chris, you probably have the most experience riding scooters out in this type of weather, hey?
Oh, you're muted, Chris.
Oh, Chris, you're muted. Let's see if we can. What does it say? Something?
I can.
There we go.
Can you hear me? There you go.
Yep.
Beautiful. Right. Yeah, no. It's we had 2 meters of snow today, so it's been quite intense. But the coldest we have driven in the snow. But first of all, it's terrible for the scooters because you get all the salt and everything on the deck, which then erodes the scooter, and it's not the safest. It is fun to try it once or twice, but we don't recommend when it's more than 10, 20 centimeters of snow for sure.
Got it. Okay. Good. Yeah. Good to know. So I've got some questions for you guys, and then I know we're already, we've already have a bunch of questions from, the live chat, and we actually have questions from Instagram, from Facebook. So they're getting in there, and I hope it's okay if we get to some, questions from the audience for you guys today.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, great. So, the first question I want to ask you guys was how do you come up with the naming conventions for these scooters, right? You've got the Ghost, you've got, the Phantom, what was the strategy behind the naming,
Yeah, sure. Super good question. To be honest, it actually started with the Phantom. That was the first scooter we, designed from the ground up, and we wanted to make sure that the name represents that it's something truly unique, something truly premium. And so we were heavily inspired by the automotive industry, obviously the Rolls-Royce Phantom,
okay.
One of the most kind of prestigious and outdoor vehicles that, you could argue has ever been made. And so that really stuck with us. But ever since we kind of agreed on the Phantom as a name, we've kind of just been working backwards to figure out what we can, make the rest of the portfolio be. And that's how we ended up with the Phantom. It was kind of a baby, the Ghost was a baby Phantom in a way. And we wanted to have something that is still an aggressive, punchy, dynamic scooter, but not quite as intense as the Phantom. So there wasn't much of a strategy or forethought that went into it, as much as we just loved the sound of Apollo Ghost and felt we could make it work.
No, it sounds good. So what's the next one then? Like, what's the next in the line for, so you got the Phantom, the Ghost? Is it going to be a necromancer or like a? I play too many video games probably, but the dragon. What's I'm trying to think what's next in the line.
Yeah, I mean, the next one's actually going to be something completely unrelated to the world of the supernatural. It's going to be called the Apollo Air, and we can get into it later. But it's going to be an entry-level model that we're launching.
Okay, very interesting. So talking about the Ghost, who did you target the Ghost to? Like, who is this for? Why did you make it? Where do you see it fitting in?
For sure, yeah. I'll jump in on this one. The Ghost really, it's for someone who's looking for great acceleration and overall comfort, but at a reasonable price point. So it's basically your affordable dual motor. Because we see so many customers looking at the Apollo, like they love the Apollo Explore because of the comfort, and then they want to go towards the Pro, but the Pro is either a little bit too heavy or too powerful or too springy, and that's where the perfect medium falls in for the Ghost. And I'm sure you guys will go through it in your review. But it's essentially it's still a little bit portable. It's got that acceleration to overtake cars and like get you enough speed.
Yep.
And overall, it still is a dual powered scooter at $1,499, which is pretty much unseen on the market. So that's a perfect point for the customers that the feedback was really asking for.
Got it. Awesome. What is the targeted release date for this next batch? Like the people that are signing up now or paying for the pre-order and all that kind of stuff. When is this gonna get launched and shipped out?
Sure, yeah. So the pre-orders we're working through right now will be shipping on the first week of March. Okay. And we have a number of containers being delivered that same month. So once we get to the month of March, we expect to be in stock for the foreseeable future.
Okay, got it. So say someone's gonna place their order now, would they be in the first wave or would they kind of be in later March, do you think?
Yeah, we have about, I think, 30 or 40 units left in the first batch, and after that we're moving on to the next one right away. So there should be very minimal lag between the different deliveries.
Okay, awesome. So a couple other questions, because like I see like so many questions coming in. I want to get to the audience here. What is your favorite thing and the least favorite thing about the Apollo Ghost?
Sure. Right, I'll say mine. For me, it's definitely the power you have for the size of the scooter. Like Chris mentioned, the Ghost is much lighter than the Pro, and for me, that's the best part. Before I was living in the third floor of an apartment, so I know what it is to carry a heavy scooter. So I can definitely feel for people who wanted like the hook, let's say, to like clip it down when it's folded, but still keep the crazy acceleration, and it's definitely that for me.
Awesome. What's your least favorite thing? Or are you guys going to all go? Because I'd love to hear from everybody if you can.
Yeah, maybe
Sure,
the other guy can go for their favorite thing, and we can say our least favorite thing after.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so for me, I think what's really nice about the Ghost is that it's quite low to the ground compared to the Pro. The Pro is really high up, and what's nice when you're low to the ground is that maneuverability is much easier. So I really enjoy like going at high speeds, and it feels like you're much more in control. That if you brake, it's not too springy like the Pro, and you're not bouncing up from side to side. So high speeds, you feel much more secure. And I guess Mac, I'll let you go.
Yeah, for me, it's the fact that we kind of were able to find all of the unique features of the Pro and distill them into the more essential, better price package, so that you can still get all of the high performance features of an expensive premium scooter without the expensive premium scooter price tag. So from a consumer standpoint, it's just really nice to be able to see something like this within an accessible price range.
Got it. Yeah, I agree with that. Least favorite things.
For me, it's probably I'm someone who really like rigid handlebar. At those speed, it's like I think it's a must. So I'll say for me, it's probably the folding handlebar.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me. I think
Really?
the Pro's got a nice grip, so you can hold on with the high speeds. I think the foldable handlebar is fantastic when you're bringing your apartment and you're folding it up and it fits nicely in the car. But when you're going, 34 miles per hour or whatever speed you guys get it, like it's a bit too straight for me. But I mean, everyone has
the curvature. You're kind of talking about the way that it doesn't curve back too much.
Exactly.
Okay.
For me, it would be the fact that it doesn't come in the Ludicrous edition yet, but I think Elwaz, it's got a little plan for that.
Is that, yeah? Let me ask it just real quick. Like, what's up with the Ludicrous stuff?
So basically now we are working on a new type of controller. We are still staying in the realm of the VSC tool, like the original Stormcore was, but we are trying to do something from scratch and to bring the cost down. There's going to be a few upgrades to the new controller. Don't know, maybe we can share some picture, but we made a built-in fan and the overall design and how you. Because the problem with the Ludo right now is the configuration setup. We wanted to bring that tool at a lower level so all the customer can do it at home, like without any tutorial or anything. Yeah. Ideally, we'll just sell the controller and people do the simple setup through the app by just pressing one or two buttons, and that's it. As you can imagine, there's a lot of work behind that. So we are working on that, but nothing official yet.
Got it. Okay. Did everybody say that other people, what's your least favorite thing to, you guys all went, right? Handlebar and
yes,
basically the non. Okay, cool. Any other, company updates before we get to the, to the questions from the audience?
Company updates.
Yeah. Wow. Just anything you want to share.
Begin?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, listen. As we mentioned, there's going to be an entry-level scooter being launched as well. So stay tuned for if you're looking for a scooter in the $500 to $700 price range. Stay tuned. We're going to be releasing a couple further updates to other models as well. So I think it's fair to say that the deals you're currently seeing on the website are a once in a lifetime because we are getting rid of that inventory to replace it with slightly upgraded versions of these scooters. So if you're a budget shopper, if you've been saving up for a scooter, now is a great time to snap an Apollo scooter. But if you are someone who's been looking for a slightly different upgraded version of a product, then you're also not going to be disappointed. And just give us a couple months to announce these releases.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the Apollo Explorer be highly discounted to a point where I'm like, well, geez, it's like maybe the best deal in electric scooters right now for the kind of everything scooter. So, So I mean, I guess we can talk about like I always think that's, I don't think our audience loves to talk about entry-level scooters because the people that watch us are a lot of times like real fans of like the bigger and the beefier and the fast scooters. But I think it's really interesting if somebody can start cracking into that $500-600 range and make something that's really like good in that range, a little maybe faster than a Xiaomi and things like that, I think it could be really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. For us, last year, the mission was very much competing with other scooter companies and trying to persuade shoppers to choose Apollo over other brands. But this year, we kind of shifted that mindset and we're less focused on competing and more focused on convincing the general public that scooters are, in fact, the superior mode of transportation. And unfortunately, it's just much more difficult to get a first-time buyer to commit to a $2,000 scooter than it is to get them to commit to a $500 scooter. And so we're really looking at it as kind of a vehicle for recruitment into the category that hopefully benefits everyone.
Yeah, no, it's smart. I see people all the time, come into our Facebook group and ask, hey, what scooter should I get? I've got, $700, $800, whatever it is. And then basically over half the comments are, you got to get the $2,000 scooter. You're going to regret it. And I personally don't think that's true. I don't think everybody needs the fastest, craziest scooter. I think that there's a scooter for everybody, and some people don't want the crazy torque and whatnot. So, interesting.
The reality as well is that everyone does start with these cheaper scooters, and if you have a good experience, you realize what electric scooters is about. As a community, and everyone here has realized that they've gone through their way. So if you have a bad first experience, you get put off scooters and you don't realize it's full, convenience, sustainability and everything around it. Yeah. But if you have a good experience, the beauty of it is that we see it a lot with the lights in the city. People buy it, and then like literally a month later, they're like, "Oh, I want to go for the Polo Pro," and we're like, "Okay, calm down. Like, we know you're excited, but go step by step, right?" And it's overall just trying to get more people to this great community and make them realize impact and the practicality of electric scooters with a lower price point, basically.
Yeah. Very cool. I'm interested to see what you guys are kind of coming up with over the next few months. And but let's get to some questions here. So first question is from, let's go with Tommy. Oh, you know what? I promised. Yeah, actually, we'll do that one later. So first question is going to be from Tommy Hayes. We're going to try to load that up on the screen, I think. Question 1. So Tommy Hayes from Facebook is asking, can we go with a wider tire without changing anything else on the Ghost scooter?
Yes, you can. You can go with a 3-inch tire, like on the Phantom, without any problems.
Okay, so what is the widest, I guess, that you would be able to go? Do you know?
Well, that tire I've seen is a 10-inch that will, like, without looking weird, it's probably like 3.25 inch wide.
Okay.
After that, it will start probably rubbing on the bracket of the mudguard.
Okay, so 3.25. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Next question is, let me see if I can do we're getting so many, we're just having a hard time managing the questions in this doc. So next question will be, let's see, will Apollo start, this is the same person off Facebook, will Apollo start selling external battery pack add-ons?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of how, we are not a fan, I think, of how Falcon is doing it with the bag and the whole thing. We are definitely working on something that will look much more sleeker, but it's not ready yet. But yes, we are considering this for sure. It was a request that we got a lot from customers.
So it would be a battery that fits onto the scooter, or like what?
Yes, and we'll make change to the deck probably to make it fit seamlessly. Yeah.
It would go, you said, on the deck or on the stem?
It won't be, basically the idea is to create the space in the deck, maybe by raising the whole portion of the deck and making it hollow in the middle to fit the new battery.
Okay.
So basically a riser all around, and you put just the usual plate that you have on your scooter on top of that. But definitely not an option like the bag we saw from other distributor.
Got it. Okay. Next question is from Mike Stefanik on Facebook. He's asking, will Apollo ever release a Ghost with hydraulic brakes?
Yes. Yeah. So the answer is correct. So the batch coming in mid-March, you'll be able to order the hydraulic brake version as well. We know how much the community loves this.
Okay.
Oh, 150 more.
Sorry, I broke up just for a second there at the end. You said around March-ish, it'll be around $150. Is that right?
Exactly. So the option is available for customers. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that's cool. I mean, and we're going to talk about the brakes later, which we actually found to be quite easy to use. I don't know if you guys felt that as well. You know, some brakes you got to really, strong arm them, and then other brakes, you can just use a couple fingers, like a hydraulic style. And so it's not hydraulic now, but anyway, we'll get to in the deep dive. But we like the brakes quite a bit. Next question. Let's see here. PEV Riders Club is asking, what is the suspension spec used on the Ghost? So I think you guys talked a little bit about how the suspension is a little bit different than, on the Apollo Pro. I don't know how to quite answer the question, but
he might be asking,
definitely different. Like you don't have the damper inside the suspension, and I don't know for you, but you definitely feel it when you bounce back from a jump. Mm-hmm. And also it's looking much more like the Mantis suspension, like a like a smooth profile spring, if you want. Okay. Like all the coil are much more closer one from the other. And on top of that, there's the fact that it's adjustable. That's also a major plus on the Ghost versus the Pro.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Next question is from Travis. And they're asking, has COVID affected the ability of scooter companies to release new models? Now, they're saying scooter companies, but you guys are here. Has COVID affected your ability to, release new models at all? releasing
honest,
a bunch, but
not.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, COVID gave us a scare when the factories in China shut down last year. We were completely uncertain what was going to happen to our supply chain. And then our demand side of the business was really under attack when everything here shut down. So going through it for the first time was quite concerning, and we weren't quite sure, if we were going to even be in business in a few months' time. But now that it's been almost a year that we've been dealing with this for, I would say it's actually given us more time, more resources, and if anything, more feedback with regards to what kind of products we should be focusing on. So I think, even though it was a difficult time for everyone, we're kind of emerging with even more clarity with regards to what we should be focusing on, what kind of products we should be putting out there. And thankfully also more support from the community because we have seen how our products have been used throughout this time, right? We've seen delivery drivers and people doing Uber Eats and skip the dishes, all kinds of services like that were provided using Apollo scooters. We've seen people skip the subway and skip buses, skip public transit altogether, using scooters to get places safer. So we have seen our scooters generally increase in terms of popularity and sales and demand. So, we're not wasting these resources. We are reinvesting them right back into our R&D department and hopefully pumping out some really interesting products for everyone to see.
Awesome. Thank you. Next question comes from Bill Barrett. They're asking, is there a newer version of Apollo City coming? And they're considering that model as their next ride.
Yeah, so Eloi, I'll let you go on this one if you want.
Yes, there's a new one coming. It's going to be announced after the Apollo Air. But yeah, we have something really special coming. It's going to be a lot different from the City, and we listen, same thing for the Phantom. We listen to the customer and we try to apply those change. But the short answer is yes, something is coming, but the details will follow later.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm super looking forward to that because the City is definitely one of my personal favorites. And because I used to have to go upstairs, and so that was the best scooter, really. Just so much in it. So if there's something else coming out, the City holds a good spot, I think. Next question is coming from Ted Raimundo. What happened to the blue accents on the other Apollo scooters? Will the Ghost and Phantom come in any blue accent colors in the future?
Yeah, that's a good question. With all scooters, we do try and keep that blue accent on it. With the Ghost, it looked much sexier in black. We did a panel with a feedback session with some of our consumers, and we gave them the two options of the blue logos and the blue suspensions and everything, and they went with the black. And what's nice is that with the Ghost, the Ghost is a bit of a mystery type of. It sounds, it's a bit mysterious, which is nice. We decided to just go with black. It just looked nicer. We'll see if we potentially do a blue accent version in the future. If demand is there and customers really want that blue, sure. But we think the black was just a good representation of the scooter and its speed and its sort of sleekness overall.
Awesome. Okay. Very good. Next question. Same person. Same person. What future upgrades / different trims will be available for the Ghost?
So probably a bigger battery, like I said. That's still in development, though. The hydraulic brake. We are looking at also maybe an upgrade regarding the handlebar. Will be fun to have just a solid option, I think, for people like me who prefer that. The fast charger, that's a usual. But except that, I feel like it's already a pretty good scooter for... I don't see much upgrade you could put in. Yeah, for sure you could go with all the LEDs like the Facebook group loved. But for now, that's about it.
Okay. Next question comes from Cleanup Man 22 at Apollo. They're asking, will you still be doing pre-ship checks on the Ghost scooter before it gets to the customer?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, the reality of growing with us has been that we've just been physically unable to keep up with the individual inspections. But of course, that's not to say that we don't recognize the value of these inspections. So what we've actually done is we've made an investment in the factory that has been manufacturing our scooters, which effectively allows us to control the quality output to a much greater extent. In addition to that, we've actually hired a local kind of third party that comes in and pulls the scooters off the production line and inspects them according to our specifications. So they're kind of an arbitrary, third party that really reports to us, not the factory. And that way we're able to again exercise those quality control standards without necessarily being stuck in a warehouse opening all the boxes ourselves. So I think we monitor these complaints, defect rates, shipping damages, anything that really has to do with product quality very closely. And following this transition to this new model, we've noticed that there was actually a decrease in the number of complaints and issues people were seeing. So far so good, and we hope we can keep it up.
Awesome.
Last question.
Yeah.
Our customer team is always there 7 days a week to help any customer with anything they need.
Okay, very good. Next question. Interesting kind of, industry question, I guess. Or marketing question. RJ is asking, can you ask how Apollo or other scooter companies in general separate their customer base? Entry level, then super fan, then beast owner. How do you guys see your customer base?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, with the customer service team, we have our weekly meetings, and we know who the super fans are. Like it's very clear who are the ones who are the most passionate and everything else. Essentially, with scooters, you don't see a lot of you do not too many repeat customers. So you don't have like a person who's bought 10 scooters, for example. But you will see those super fans in terms of accessories and reaching out. And lots of the time to reach out to ask for maintenance and stuff. We don't segregate them too much. It's just not too much. We just try and treat everybody with the same experience as possible. But of course, our whole team knows who the super fans are, and we'll always remember your name for sure.
Okay, very good. Next question, Eric Ramos. Will Apollo use Samsung or LG batteries on their scooters?
We will, yes, for the bigger size of the Phantom, probably. We're still looking. We are running tests basically to make sure to look at the difference over time of the degradation of the cell, just like we did with the rest of the lineup. We are testing different cell now. But yes, the short answer is if you want more capacity into a battery pack, you need to go with LG or Samsung. That being said, often you do pay a markup for those branding on the cell. The Chinese cell are just as good, like Dynavolt. They were incredible. But it's something we are considering, yes.
Okay, awesome. Next question is from Travis. Will Apollo ever make an e-bike?
To be honest, it's something that has crossed our minds. However, the reality is we do have limited resources, and we love scooters more than anything else. So as of right now, we're 100% focused on scooters. If we ever do get to a point where we're just cruising and we're choosing our next vacation destination, that's probably going to be a good moment to start rethinking our product lineup. But for the foreseeable future, we're 100% committed to scooters.
Awesome. Okay. Next question. John Richardson is asking, what does Apollo mean in its specs for the Ghost by when at peak the motors offer 1,000 watts of power each or 2,000 watts maximum instantaneous output? I think John is asking for clarification on that.
So basically, that's how you measure. We measure the output of the Ghost. This question is for the Phantom, precise.
It says for the Ghost. No, for the Ghost. Yeah.
The Ghost. Okay.
Yeah.
So the peak output, how we measure it, we put a voltmeter. That's something that checks the current that passes through the wire. We use a clamp to analyze the amp going from the controller to the motors, because the amp going from the battery to the controllers is not the same thing. Your controller is able to boost the amount of energy and shoot it into the motors. So basically, we take that clamp, we put it around the wires, and we are able, basically, when you apply the brake to create a restriction, because of course we cannot run those tests on hills for obvious reason. When we apply the brake to simulate a load, we are able to detect how many amp, and you multiply those amp by the voltage, and it's going to give you the max power output of the motor.
Easy peasy.
And it was 2,000.
Just like that. Just like that. Got it. I think Paul may understand what you're talking about. No, that's okay. Great.
So the short answer, it can reach that amount of wattage for a short period. But of course, if it was set at this wattage at all time, it will get way too hot and it will burn the controller.
Okay. Okay, very good. Next one is a comment. Is basic. We're getting close to the end of the questions here. Just a quick comment. Someone said, "I think you guys are doing an amazing job and an asset to the industry. So thank you to Apollo Scooters." So that's just something. I just thought I'd read it because it came into my list here. Let's see here. Last question from Jacob Horton. Apollo, any plans for a dual motor scooter under 1,000 watts nominal? And then they go on to say local laws regulate scooters to 1,000 watts and would love to see this happen.
Surprise.
We can't say too much, but the short answer is yes. Give us a couple of months and keep an eye out for updates. We will deliver one of those very shortly.
Is that okay? Okay, very good. Paul, do you have any, so that's that. I mean, we got through like 20 questions here.
There was a question that came up this week from a rider who was asking about the steering bearings, and I guess it's come up before that there was maybe a detent in the middle to help for stability, or sometimes you want a certain amount of drag on those bearings. I wonder if you guys could comment on that.
Yeah, so basically the middle pin or restriction that center the stem always have been there. The thing that happened is that the first Pro that we got from the factory, like in the first batch, the stem was a bit too loose for our taste, so you were getting the speed wobble. We asked the factory to tighten the stem, and I think, Paul, you made a good post on how to loosen that on Facebook. But we asked them to tighten it a bit more to prevent those stem wobble. And in consequence, you do feel when the scooter is brand new, the middle notch. It's helping to center the stem at high speed for sure, but it's something that goes away after a few dozen of kilometers.
Got it. And so there's not like a separate detent and ball there. It's just the bearings themselves, and then kind of as they wear in, they'll kind of loosen up, and then you have the correct tension.
Correct.
Got it.
All right.
Correct. And the other point that I wanted to address, it's regarding the brake, because you were right. They do feel nicer on that model. What we asked the factory to do is basically to add or to spray lubricant inside the brake line to help the brake cable basically to travel inside. We also asked them to make the spring in the handle a bit stronger to give a better feedback. I don't know if that part of the handle have been done, honestly, but definitely the lubricant, you feel it right away. It's much more sharp.
Yeah, it's a remarkable amount of braking power for a mechanical disc brake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Is there any last things that you want to say before we let you go? Because we're almost at an hour and we got to get our own deep dive done here. But any last words for you guys?
Just as usual, thank you so much for having us on the show, guys. We really appreciate it. And again, all the efforts and all the execution of our scooters are all based on feedback from you guys, from the community and everything else. So please keep it coming. We really appreciate the kind words and the feedback. It's always constructive. So
awesome. All right.
Keep it good.
Yeah. Sorry. Great. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Stay warm out there, and I look forward to having you guys back when we talk about any of the next scooters that are coming up, because it's pretty exciting what you guys are doing.
Super quick.
Amazing.
Thank you. Is big dog approved or not big dog approved?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, we're getting to that in just a minute. But I think
everybody stay tuned.
Yeah, there we go. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the live show comments, I hope, and then we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thanks very much, guys. Bye, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. So, great.
That was fun. That was an amazing amount of material we covered just there. I'm really impressed with some of the questions that we got from the writers. They actually came up with some better questions. We spent some time thinking about it, and they hit a bunch of stuff I didn't even think of. So thanks, you guys.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
You guys are awesome. So we got to jump right in and get on to the next thing. We've got... let's look at some performance data.
Yes.
We talked a lot about how it feels and how it fits in with other scooters.
While you do that, Paul, I'm going to turn on the light so people can see what the scooter looks like.
Awesome.
Give me 1 second.
And so, so the thing with the Ghost is it is an amazing package in terms of performance per dollar. I mean, it's kind of shocking. And Chuck mentioned earlier, I've been doing some analysis on just sort of the broader, market for scooters and the performance and all this for an article I'm working on for the top 10 scooters that you can buy in 2021. And the Ghost just started jumping out immediately, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We'll put up a chart here. I've circled the Ghost in red here. What this chart is 0 to 15 time versus price. And so this is, we're measuring time to get to 15 miles an hour, so lower is better because you're getting up to speed faster. And then the curve through the middle there, it's just, we're sort of fitting a curve. This is sort of the typical, the sort of the middle of all of this data. And anything lower than the curve is better. And you can see the Ghost is like one of the very furthest from the curve in the good direction here. And this actually came up live on the show, I think a show or two ago.
A couple of shows ago, someone asked, what's the fastest scooter, right?
Yeah, what's the fastest scooter? $1,500. And it's like,
we didn't know. We didn't know at the time.
And we
looked it
like
up.
right in the middle of the show, we find out, oh, it's the Ghost. And so here's this chart again. Actually, the same chart was on there, but this has been updated a little bit. And then we can show you the acceleration curve, kind of how that acceleration unfolds. And we've got a bunch of stuff stacked up here, but you can see basically it's a bunch of curves laying almost exactly over each other. And what's impressive about this is that the Ghost is like an entry-level dual motor scooter, and these are some pro level, well, not pro level, but
the Mantis Pro is about $1,000 more, or not quite, $800.
That's true,
more.
and it is actually in here. That green curve is the Mantis Pro, and the base Mantis is in here in blue. The Pro is in here in green. The 10X is in here, and the Ghost is the very top line. If you look at top speed here, it's beating them all. So we're getting a little sneak peek at what you're going to see in the review that's launching tomorrow morning.
But basically, you can see where the top speed line is.
Yeah, and so
higher.
It's an 800 watts per motor, but I really wonder. It seems like they're maybe under-speccing a little bit here, because this thing is just it's a monster for for $1,500. It's pretty amazing. And then next, we talked about top speed. We'll throw up a curve here, or a chart here for top speed per dollar. And so what I've plotted is, on the horizontal axis here, we have price, and then going up on the graph is top speed. And again, then we've plotted a line through the middle of this showing sort of what your typical performance is, how much speed you get per dollar typically, and then anything that's above the line is an outlier, an anomaly, and the Ghost is like way up there. In fact, you can see it beating the Mantis, but also being lower in price. So it's kind of amazing stuff. And then finally, the braking performance is here. I've plotted is almost every scooter we've ever tested. The labels wouldn't fit if I put them all in here, but it's you can see with a little red arrow pointing at it. It's 7th in line here among every scooter we've ever tested. I think it comes in 9th, but for this is a mechanical disc brake scooter. It's got some really pretty amazing performance for brakes. So all around is, I think, the new benchmark for performance per dollar.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is the kind of nice thing that we found when we first wrote it. I was okay. This thing is fast. Mm-hmm. The price for a legit company, right? And I think that can't be stressed enough. Is that there are companies out there you can order from that don't give $2 about how your experience is after they sell you that scooter. Yeah. Those are the alleys, right? And others.
And that's a big deal. I mean, it's something, it doesn't show up on any of the graphs, but it is something you always have to remember that A, it's going to be a good product, and then B, that somebody's standing behind it.
Yeah, they want you to have a good. I mean, Apollo does want you to. They're part of the community because they're trying to get a good reputation. Yeah. The only way they do that is by taking care of their customers. So. That is kind of the crazy. I mean, to me, that is the story. It's it's this value. Value is a word that kind of boring, but it's like how much speed, how much acceleration, like top speed and acceleration per dollar is. This is it. This is kind of it.
And it's so fun, it's like, it seems like every week we're getting surprised by another scooter's like, wow, this is the best, this is the best, that. And it's true. I mean, things just keep getting better and better. It's a great time to be alive, folks.
Yeah. For scooters, for sure. And so then, I think the other things that really stood out to me, excuse me, were just the kind of features you get, I guess, at this kind of price, right? Or against like other comparison scooters. The things that really, push out to me, I'll talk about in a second, is like really it's just fantastic for portability. And now portability is not a sexy word for dual motor scooters. Nobody necessarily really cares about that. But if you do, this is a really awesome scooter. So you've got, for portability, you got folding handlebars, and you have the, the little locking, the stem locks down, right? Yep. So you can pick it up. I think they have it at 64 pounds or something on their website, or 65.
Yeah, we measured just under 66,
65.8. So it's close to that. And so, but the other things, I guess the other features you kind of get here, right, are the key ignition, the grips. I have an issue with grips, and I'm gonna mention it in the review tomorrow. I have issues with grips that aren't wide at the ends on fast scooters, because I need a lot of space. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see that there. Right on the end there, you can see that the end of the handlebar gets wider, and that actually fits my hand really well. So I actually thought that this scooter was actually quite comfortable to ride. And again, over some scooters that are, around the same speed with skinny handlebars, I know it's something you can change, but I just like scooters that come ready to go. I want to be a modder, but I'm just like Ramir. I'm not really like modding stuff. I'm kind of busy for modding, but I'd like to be. Anyway, so the grips are good. It's got split rims, so better for tire changes. It's got the footrest, right? The footrest, and you can put your foot on it, and so for picking it up, that's super helpful. And then, as you can see here, right, not every scooter has either stem or deck lighting, and I like to have one or the other on a scooter. I mean, that's one thing I really appreciate with the Apollo City and Explorer both have stem and deck lighting, and I ride a lot at night. The scooter for me is my daily commute. I go all the way home and all the way to work every day. I'm gonna go home after this, and after the Ghost review's done, right? But getting that stem or deck lighting is super helpful for riding at night. So it has these things, and we kind of just want to show you kind of how it compares with other scooters. Paul, you worked on the suspension a little bit.
Yeah, I played around with the suspension. They mentioned that it's adjustable, and it is somewhat adjustable. It's not. I didn't find it super useful, really. I mean, you can crank down the preload, and usually, I could get into a ton of detail here, but we don't have a whole lot of time.
Get a little bit of detail. It's okay. We go a couple minutes over.
You can crank down the preload. Usually, when you do that, the shock stays the same length, and you compress the spring a little bit, and it just makes the whole thing feel like stiffer. In this case, when you change the preload, it actually shortens the shock length itself, which just makes it kind of top out a little bit earlier, top out a little bit harder, and it makes the whole scooter get lower, which is the reverse of what usually happens when you adjust preload. So I didn't find it super useful. I'm sure there's some folks that will find it, that'll find it useful, and it's very easy to adjust if you want to twiddle with it. There's just a bolt above each spring. One's hidden underneath the footrest, but it's it's fun to have stuff that you can play with and kind of make it your own a little bit.
Yeah. The grip tape. The grip tape was something that we, not everything is a pro for the scooter, right? We got to go over pros and cons. The grip tape we noticed was, you can see the deal in the middle, but then you don't get grip tape there.
Yeah, I think maybe they're making room for the logo in the middle, but there is a space. There's two strips of grip tape down the sides, and there's a space big enough in the middle you can just about fit your whole foot in there. And so, if it were mine, I would add like an inch wide extra strip of grip tape. You'll still be able to see the logo, but there won't be a big enough space to fit your foot in between the grip tape.
Yeah.
In the dry, it doesn't really matter, but in the wet, I think it's for
I
sure be helpful.
I tend to put my front foot dead center as I can, just for balance.
Yeah.
And so right dead center is the one part where you're not getting that grip tape. And I love the Apollo Explorer and City. The grip tape
it's just everywhere.
Is so perfect. And so I was slightly disappointed with the grip tape, but I guess it's it's a $5 mod
so easy
to get that. Ramir.
Uh-oh.
Welcome back to the show. What do you think? What's your take on this scooter? Is it Big Dog approved? What's your feeling?
Yeah, so I have a few notes here, and the Apollo Ghost. Now, let me just throw this out. I'm gonna just speak from the heart. I think the Apollo Ghost is pretty cool. I like it. We have a plethora of scooters here to ride, and that's becoming my new favorite riding scooter. And for a purchasing aspect, it makes sense. When you have a dual motor, you know, you guys saying it's great for the price dual motor, but it's actually just a great dual motor scooter. Like, you know, I started off with the Nan Robot, and it's you know, that's a cheap dual motor that you can get that goes fast, and this is true. But, you know, the fit and finish, and it's not like the best, well-kept scooter, but with this and having the support of with Apollo, I like it. I like the deck. The grip tape, I'm not too much of, I mean, I'm okay with it. My foot is big enough.
Your foot fits,
so, you know,
it jumps the gap.
It fits, but only thing I had to get used to is the back plate where you put your feet at. Like it's a different type of ride for me a little bit because I put my foot on.
Do you put your rear foot on the rear kick plate kind of thing?
So it took me, you know, it's not like a con, but it's something you do have to get used to. And other than that, I'm a fan of it. You guys are seeing the review tomorrow. I don't want to spoil it because, you know, it is Big Dog approved. But
so it is Big Dog approved.
Yeah, there we go.
Going up the hill, doing 35.
It gets up hills.
Yeah.
No, it's the power is just unlike any scooter at that. I mean, what are you gonna get?
I think that's what bumped up my average speed on the range test so much was I find myself going up a 4% grade. I'm going like 25 miles an hour up the hill, like the whole way up the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool. We're actually really close to 200 viewers too, and we're about to get to the questions. I hope we can pass that 200 mark. So let's get to some audience questions about the scooter. Let's see here.
So we had the question from Michael McKay.
Yeah, that's right.
He's got class
Michael,
tonight.
who's going to Spanish class. Hola.
But
Hola,
he wanted
Michael.
to make sure to get his question in because he's going to watch it on the replay.
Yeah.
And he wanted to. He was just really curious what we thought about it versus the Mantis.
Mantis base.
And the Mantis base model, yeah.
Because the Mantis base a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, and I think that is the best scooter to compare it to because price-wise they're pretty close, performance-wise they're pretty close.
Yeah.
And it's it is a good comparison. The Ghost definitely beats it if you take it right down to performance per dollar. Like nothing's gonna touch this thing. Ride wise, it's the Ghost. The Ghost is a little brother of the Apollo Pro, and the Apollo Pro definitely has a more polished, more finished ride to it. Just like at high speed, I feel a little bit more comfortable on the Pro, and then just the hydraulic brakes of the Pro and all that sort of thing. Now back to the Mantis, the Mantis has a little bit more polish to it at high speed. I'm not sure even how to describe it, but it just anyway, this has much stronger, like the brakes are much easier to grab on the Ghost. One finger just is super strong mechanical brakes in spite of the fact that the base Mantis is semi-hydraulic.
Yeah.
And so this is a stronger, but the Mantis is easier to modulate the brakes right at the limit. I'll give it that. And so, I'd say anywhere below 9/10. This is the Ghost is as good or better.
9/10 of your most powerful braking.
I would just say like altogether,
whole scooter.
riding it really, really hard, which as I tend to do, and most people don't. So just to keep this in mind, folks, I'm doing things you probably shouldn't do. But when you take it to 98% braking, I found the Mantis was a little bit easier to modulate. And also same thing with the suspension. When I'm pushing the suspension really, really, really hard, the Mantis was, I think, just a touch better. Everywhere else, the Apollo Ghost was doing better.
Ramir, you must have something to say. I heard your voice coming in.
Yeah, at high speeds, I feel like it's stable for me. That's what I noticed when I first rode the scooter. In my first look, if you go back and watch that video, I said that in the video. When I get on dual motors, when you go on high speed, sometimes you don't want to just cram down acceleration. But when I was getting up there, 32, 34, and then I hit like 35, I'm holding it, and it felt solid. So I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
And it's more solid than the Mantis was for me.
Yeah. I remember that was Richie's impression too. I mean, he's not a fast rider, but he found himself really going fast on the Ghost. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
For me, comfortability and features and performance, right? The Ghost does beat, I think, the Mantis for me. Like, the grip style is actually the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
Is like on the Mantis, especially the faster one, I do have a little bit of a hard time cramping my hands. Whereas the handlebars are fine here. I think for overall build quality, the newer Manti, do have this a little bit beat for, the stem wobble has been so fixed on the Mantis. And, this is still the collar style stem mechanism, which is pretty ubiquitous throughout the industry.
Yeah.
But it will be prone to a slight bit of movement that you can tighten it all day, but you're going to always have that little bit. And it's not worse than any other scooter out there.
It's just not quite as solid as the latest Mantis.
Yeah, the latest Mantis maybe just has that beat by a little bit. Yeah. But for all the other features, especially portability, being able to take that upstairs, fold the handlebars down, all those kinds of things. I actually don't mind the non-throwback handlebars that they were saying, even though it's flat across, because the grips are so much better than on the Mantis. I actually prefer in total, I may prefer the ride on this. It's very similar. There's pros and cons, because I'm not all about like the fastest speed, but I'll take it up there.
And we've come around to the grips a few times, and the scooter's coming around right now behind me. One of my favorite things about these grips is not just that they're wide, but they have a clamp at the outside that clamps it to the handlebar.
Yeah, so it doesn't rotate.
It's right there where your palms hit, and sometimes they'll clamp the inside, but that's not where you're pushing with your palms. Your palms will tend to try to rotate the grips at the outside, and so all the grips that clamp on the outside like that, they just stay put. Feel super solid.
All right, we should get to the next question, because we're going to be on super overtime. Let's see here. Kim Richmond is asking, what would be the recommendation for a first-time young adult rider? This is, you know what? Actually, sorry. Let's go with ghost questions during this.
Yeah.
What am I doing here? Okay. Geez. So okay. We got question number 1.
Ninebot Max is the answer to the previous question, though.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. That's the easy answer. Okay. So next question. Michael Makush, are the tires on the Ghost tubes or tubeless?
They are tubed.
Tubed and split rims.
And split rims. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Frankie Santana on Instagram, they have the next 2 questions. Does the Ghost have a water rating?
IP54.
Boom. And second question, is there any stem wiggle wobble? I like that, wiggle wobble.
Wiggle wobble, yes. And a tiny bit, but like Chuck was saying, it's totally like
it's within the realm of everything. Yeah. I mean, maybe, there's a couple scooters out there with less, and then there's some with more and sounds to them, right? So I'd put this kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Phantom with the newer latch system.
Can't wait.
It'll be similar to the Aux and Aux-O, which have, I think, a superior stem locking mechanism. I mean, so do we want to talk about the Ghost compared to the Apollo Pro?
I mean, I touched on it a little bit, but it's
someone's saying it seems like a wash, and I think there are legitimate differences. It's hard, you have to really think about them.
Yeah, they're different scooters. I mean, for folks familiar with cars, it's kind of a Boxster and 911 situation, with the Pro being the 911 and the Ghost being the Boxster. Yeah. The Pro does have like a more finished feel to it. It's got the hydraulic brakes. It's a little smoother. It's a little more of a GT, a Grand Tourer, where the Ghost is a little more like thrash around kind of sporty thing.
They feel different at speed for me, and I know that Richie and Ramir like it, I think, at speed. I at first was like, okay, it's different, but then I got used to it and I started having fun. And it's just
so how do you feel now?
There is a difference.
Yeah. So at 30 miles an hour, which one would you be? Is Pro or Ghost? Oops, sorry.
The Pro, I feel like, wants to go straight.
Yeah.
And then the Ghost, I feel like, is ready to take turns.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. It's kind of nimble. It feels like it's the Ghost or the Pro is more like, it's a Grand Tour. I mean, if you wanted to go
straight. It goes straight really well, and you feel like you should never do this. But if you took a hand off the handlebars, I would do that on the Pro. Yeah. I wouldn't do it on the Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, that steering is just a little more lively, not unstable, but just a little more lively.
And I think it just depends your riding. I don't know. Remy, what do you? I mean,
for me, I'm going with the Ghost. If you're going fast, they said it themselves. They said something about the Pro. It's a great scooter, but it's a little bit bouncy.
It does get bouncy.
When you're going fast, you can kind of feel that little bounce.
It's kind of floaty.
For me, I'm riding real fast, and you hit a stick or something like that. You don't want to bounce. That's the last thing you want while riding a scooter. So with the Ghost, I'm like solid.
When I first rode it, I remember telling Paul, I was like, hey, I think you're going to like the suspension because it doesn't rebound as much as the Apollo Pro.
I do like that.
Yeah. So you know, it's not rubber,
It doesn't throw
No.
it back.
but
as
it's
much.
it's a damn good spring.
Yep.
Anyway, next question. Let's see here, man, I get lost in these questions. Next question is suspension. So we can touch on suspension. This is from George Green. How does the suspension, about the Ghost, how does the suspension feel? What is the closest comparison in regards to the suspension and ride quality to the Ghost?
Wow, that's a tough one. It's different. It's
It-
it's kind of like Mantis 8. I mean, it's as stiff as the Mantis 8 in terms of suspension, because the Mantis 8 is stiffer than a.
It is stiffer, but
base
isn't it
Mantis.
more? It's not. Is it? I don't feel like it's as stiff as the Mantis 8. Is it?
Mantis 8 is probably stiffer. I think you're right,
So-
but it's in between. But it's definitely
I put it closer
The only thing I didn't like, it does have a little bit of a top out. So if you're lighter, I mean, I'm about 160 pounds, and so when I go kind of topping out over the tops of things, you feel the top out just a little bit more than you feel on other scooters.
I feel like the suspension is the most similar to a Mantis or Apollo Pro than it is to anything else, and I think the ride quality is different than almost anything else because it is a little more lively. I guess that's a good word for it, which I got used to, and then I was taking it from pickleball home in the dark, 4.5, 5 miles along, with cars. I was kind of having fun.
Yeah.
Because I was like carving around. I mean, carving safely, but carving around, and it was kind of awesome actually. And I didn't get my hands. This is the biggest thing. My hands didn't cramp. And I think if you throw on an eye controller or you put more power on that, and you don't have that same grip, I will have a cramped ham, and I wouldn't recommend it. So, I mean, I'm happy with that. Next question is, we can do this one real quick. Ted Raymundo's asking if the Ghost is considered an entry-level dual motor. What would be the closest rival or similar scooter currently available? So it is entry-level dual, although you could say that the Unagi is dual, or that I think the wide wheel is actually your entry-level dual, right? But this is it's only $100-$200 more right now. And then you use that no sales tax or, whatever, and you can basically get it really close. But it's not close to it in ride quality. The Y-Wheel is a very different scooter than this scooter in terms of everything. I think the closest is the one we've talked about, Mantis Base. It's probably a real close comparison to this scooter, and that's the one to look at. So I think that's the end. Do we have any other questions for the Ghost? I think that's it. I think that's the questions for the Ghost. I mean, I don't. Yeah, the Phantom and the Pro, we can answer, I don't want to talk too much about the Phantom because we're going to have that scooter, and, we're kind of on overtime. We need to get to the news here. But, I think we're good. We got the live Q&A. Thank you guys very much. We're going to do the news, and there's some interesting news coming up. But quick commercial break sponsored by the ESG website. Website now includes an updated database which adds water resistance ratings and scooter dimensions, all sortable and filterable, and available in metric and imperial. Updated performance data of over 40 top electric scooters, including range and acceleration. The results of the world's largest electric scooter survey, showing you the top 13 electric scooters as voted by actual riders. Extensive reviews of over 43 electric scooters. The world's largest collection of updated and exclusive coupon codes to save you some cash. A new group ride finder local to your area. Check it out at electric-scooter.guide.
All right. So first, let's get right to it. Get right to it. So first up, who says going electric can't be cool? Check out this video featuring Red Bull athlete and Hollywood stuntman, JT Holmes. Take it away, Richie.
It is an electric scooter.
What is this guy? Who is this guy? Tom Cruise?
I mean, do they have a separate parachute for that scooter? I don't know. I don't understand this. But the music's cool. There's his parachute. I think they basically just trashed the scooter to make that video.
That's a different kind of last mile transportation.
That is. That's right. That's right.
All right. Get the environment.
Yep.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Oh, okay. I'll take the next one then. The Brooklyn Bridge finally gets a dedicated, bike lane. So hey, shout out to everybody in New York, Mr. David Vosk. Looking at you. But man, the innermost lane of the Manhattan-bound lanes will be reallocated to bike traffic. This is pretty cool. I think it's just part of the overall move towards micromobility, and they call it bike lanes, but we know that that's for scooters too.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoopsies.
So, that's cool.
All right, I'll take the next one.
Yeah.
So Lego adds bike lanes to Lego city designs. It started as an idea from a councilman from the Netherlands, and Lego has added a thin blue bike lane to their Lego cities.
So we like this. We like to see that, the young generation understands that, the world is changing, guys. I mean, like we said it, we've been saying it for 72 episodes now, and we're
not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
I just love it. I'm a fan, even though he lost.
He got knocked out.
Oh
bad.
my God, that was horrible. Anyway, it's just like really cool. You start. It's like the Apple computers being in the elementary school classroom, so like everybody would get used to Apple products. I think it's cool that Lego is like introducing this to kids at a young age. We realize that like cars are not bad, but they're just not. They're not for everything anymore.
I believe that children are the future. Give them scooters and help them lead the way.
There you go. That's a new quote on the website.
All right. So next story: Spin equips three-wheel Spin S200 scooter with responsive software, so it can be operated remotely. Check this out.
Yeah. What is this? We got friends at Spin, so we might be able to. I don't know. Just go ride one of these things. I mean, 3 wheels could be interesting, but now I guess when you need a shared scooter, you could just like call it, cruise a couple blocks over to you.
And it's pretty cool. I mean, you get scooters, I used to run scooters with Lime and with Skip, and you get scooters kind of scattered all over the place. People ride them home and cameras off.
We get you in a second, Paul.
All right. But, people ride them home to it like a little a neighborhood where nobody's really walking around. You want to get that scooter back to Mission Street or back to the middle of town so somebody else can ride it. And it'd be fantastic. Save a lot of labor to get these things to park them, repark themselves where they're needed. So
crazy. I think it'd be real interesting if someone hacks that. And all of a sudden you're riding and it's just taking you in another place or something.
Hell yeah.
Last up. So I heard about this over at the Micromobility conference. Someone was talking about it, and actually I think I was talking with was it Chase at Unagi? Anyway, I was talking to some people, and basically there is this, I heard about this bicycle that is like self-driving. And I'm like, no, that's not with training wheels. And who I was talking to was like, no, with a big old fat tire, with just wide tires. They just figured it out. So check this out. Here, it'll reset here in a second. Look at this.
It's like when the cowboy whistles and calls his horse,
Yeah, and then the kickstand, if you watch that, the kickstand just folds itself down. Yeah. I mean, what does this mean for the world here? I mean, like this blew my mind.
This robots and everything.
This is crazy.
Taking over.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we've got some industry news coming up. So Voro Motors has a couple of updates. So first off, we have a photo of the new eMove Roadster that is coming down the pipe. This is it's got the dual steering dampers. The Roadster is a really hot scooter that a lot of people are interested in. They have a sign-up form on their website if you want to be on there. But we also have some new colors for the
Oh, they have red.
They do have red.
They did it. I love it. I love it. It looks nice.
But they also have purple as well. So we're gonna play a special song for that. If anybody that can guess this song gets a big fat prize. Anyway, it takes a while to like pop up. So just keep the purple in your head as you listen to the song while we keep going.
wearing purple, wearing purple.
I just really like this band. We're totally getting busted for playing this song on the show. But if I keep talking through it, maybe they won't catch me. Here, I'll stop it right here.
So start wearing purple.
Okay, all right, that's enough of that. All right, before I get in trouble.
Chuck jam.
All right, guys, we love our Facebook community, and now it's time for the Facebook giveaway. All right, so shout out to Apollo for sponsoring the Facebook giveaway. Thank you guys so much. There we are. We got who's that guy from Mortal Kombat? Goro. Yeah. We got Goro arms coming in here. So as you can see, we got the headlight, the storage case, the anti-theft alarm. We do these giveaways every week, so we really appreciate Apollo being on the rotation, basically always hooking you guys up. If you want to be entered in the giveaway each week, David Voss posts something on Monday, and I think you have to comment or share it, something like that, to be entered. And then, boom, he sends us the name. So how do we do this?
So you guys know how it goes. Chuck rolls the die, whatever number it lands on. Richie hit the randomizer that many times, and whoever's on top wins.
And shipping is
worldwide.
All right, here we go. We're not rolling. We reset our sixes last week, so no worries if we get a 6.
It's 3. It's a 3.
All right, it's a 3.
It's a 3. So everybody are you guys ready? Number 1.
Doom, doom, doom.
Boom, boom. Number 2. Okay, last one. Good luck, everyone. Number 3.
And the winner is
Alder T. Almo.
Alder T. Almo. Woo! You won, buddy. All the stuff. All right, so you're gonna hear from Voss. He'll reach out to you. Congratulations on that. Stay tuned every single week for this stuff. Thanks again to Matt, Chris, and LOI from Apollo for the giveaway, but also for coming on the show, answering all your guys' questions. Links to all the scooters and stuff like that are in the description. Anyway, let me just get the music playing here. Anything else you want to add to?
I think we
had a good show. Sorry if we went a little overtime tonight, but it was fun. These shows go quick, you know.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that's watching. We really appreciate you guys. We see you in the comments. The conversation is always going. So. Yeah. Best place on YouTube is with you guys.
It's true.
We look forward to it every week.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. And hope you guys look forward. The Apollo Ghost review is going to come out at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, so we will send out some stuff when we get the thumbnail uploaded. We're going to be working on it basically all night until it's done. Hope you guys like it. We like making this stuff for you. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow in the live chat. If not, then we'll see you next week. Good night, everybody. Ride safe. Don't forget to wear your helmet. Good night.